All right, man. We woke up this morning.
No.
We woke up this morning, Aaron Judge. We walk into the hotel. You and I, the hardest working people here. There's not even a question. Not even. So, first of all, were you surprised after all the Arson Judge stuff yesterday and the Giants and this and that? When you saw this, were you surprised?
I was surprised. Being here at the winter meetings, the rumblings are he's going to the San Fran. That's going to happen. Remember, he's flying out here and all this stuff, and I really thought he was going to the Giants. There was a part of me, though, and I said it on the air the other night on MLB Network, that Hal Steinbrenner's involved. Mm-hmm. And the fact that when the owner's involved, it's always a little different. Like, remember when John Middleton was involved with Harper?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
And he's like, wait, we're not going to – I'm flying to meet with Bryce Harper, and we're getting this done. Yeah. When you hear Hal Steinbrenner's involved, you're like, okay, Cashman's maybe going to take it to a certain point. But when the owner's involved – now you know it's a different level. So when I saw that he signed back with the Yankees, I thought to myself, Hal Steinbrenner had to say, just give us the last shot.
Yeah.
Give us a chance to match whatever the offer is.
It is so true. It is so true. Like we talk about, this is, I think Brian Cashman, we just talked to Brian Hoch and MLB.com, and he said that Brian Cashman is like, I'm the guy who's like told to spend what money I have to spend.
Right.
He's the guy, that's his job.
Right.
But he's not the guy to say, here, go spend this or that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, when you got a guy like Hal Steinbrenner, listen, Judge is a once-in-a-generational type player as far as like who he is off the field, who he is on the field. A face of baseball, also a face of the Yankees. I mean, they've always had that. A captain, probably going to put this. They're probably stitching the C on, right?
I hate captains in baseball.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, that's a whole nother podcast.
That's a whole other podcast. It's a whole
other Mayor's
yeah. You could do that for another 30 minutes.
But it's like there's no why do you have captains in baseball?
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I guess the Yankees maybe a little.
Well, yeah, the Yankees. You go back. Was it Donnie Baseball, Jeter? There's some pretty big ones that were captains. But I think Judge is that guy. I mean, Judge is the guy. If you're going to give anybody that kind of money, look what he's been doing, man. I mean, just look at the fact that he bet on himself, Bradford. Dude, he was out for $213 million. He made 147 more mil. 1 year.
And
1 year.
And you've seen guys go through contract years.
Yeah.
You've seen guys crumble under contract
years. Dude, I've seen it go the exact opposite. Like, dude, you turned into a terrible player. What the heck? I was like, you used to be good, and now your butthole went like, you didn't know what to do.
But you know what? That whatever the reverse of that is, it went that way with Aaron Judge.
Exactly. And then Aaron Judge went to the moon.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, all this money came this way. But it's interesting because we had Buster Olney, and he said this is about a week ago, and he said this may be the first time that the Yankees needed the player more than the player needed the Yankees.
Yes, that's a great point.
I mean, they couldn't. I mean, you can have your plan Bs and you can get their shortstops, but to your point, you needed the captain back.
They needed him. They needed Judge. I mean, I think he's that kind of player. I mean, even go back to Cano. They let Cano walk. Well, Cano, I think Judge is on that Jeter level.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
well, he is now.
Derek Jeter, someone else. Aaron Judge, somewhere else. And I also think Monument Park's a big part of this. Mm-hmm. He's putting together a legacy there in New York, with the Yankees on the most historic organization. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that was a part of it too. Like, hey, are you going to go to San Fran for 9 years, 360, or are you going to make a legacy forever?
But does that make you, as a player, like you and I are? I don't know. You're younger than me, so I'm not going to do this. But I think we like to see the idea of guys going stem to stern when it comes to like staying with the same team, being the face of the front, and that's just not how it is most times.
No,
this must make you feel. This must warm your cockles.
Dude, I played with Barry Larkin for what? But Larkin played there 19 years, and for the Reds, I played with him for 8. I just love to see those good legacy guys that are, that are still doing. The crazy thing is, if you go back and look at contracts, the big contracts that have been given out in the last so many years, most guys leave. Most guys don't. If they get to free agency, we were talking about, you get to free agency, most guys don't come back to the original team. They go off because the money's too big. So I think one of the worst things you can do is let these guys get to free agency. So for Judge, that was one of the reasons I'm like, the guys don't come back to the original team once they get to free agency, because a team will overspend, and we saw it. I think the Giants, that was a real offer, 9 years, 360, and you usually don't see the main team, match it, but the Yankees match it.
Can I tell you another thing that this like highlighted?
Yeah.
We had your good friend Joe Kelly on.
Yeah.
Our good friend Joe Kelly, right?
I love Joe.
And so one of the things that we talked about was he said recruiting's stupid. Like recruiting's like, this isn't Krzyzewski.
Right.
This isn't Nick Saban. These aren't college kids. It's not stupid. It's all complimentary.
Right.
But let's not get worked up over when Steph Curry calls Aaron Judge. At the end of the day, you got to get the money,
right.
and you also have to know, you have to basically feel comfortable where you are, right? I mean, It's not putting your name up on the Jumbotron.
No. And I think also, too, like, at this stage, I know for me, when you get to this stage of your career, Judge is 30, 31 years old, you want to go to a club, you want to stay with a club that's going to be committed to winning every year. Mm-hmm. The Giants are a couple years away from that.
Right.
The Yankees are ready to win right now. They're always ready to win. They're the Yankees. You're the star player. So I think that factors in. And even look at Trey Turner's contract, over in Philly. What they say, his wife's from Jersey. He kind of wants to get back to the East Coast guy. Well, the Padres offered him $342 million.
Right.
So he left $42 million on the table because he's like, hey, man, when's enough? At some point, my wife's got to be happy. The kids, I gotta enjoy where I'm at.
That's my point. Is that you don't think the Padres had the nice meal, had the jersey, I keep using the Jumbotron, talk about this isn't blue chips, or for the love of the game. No, not for the love of the game. Oh, he got game.
Yeah, he got game.
One of the best recruiting scenes of all time. But when you have it in your mind, what's important, and usually, let's be honest, like the contract's important, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to be representative of the contract, but then it comes to, well, you have Heaney. Heaney wanted to play in Texas,
right.
Oklahoma. So, okay, that's fine. But every team is going to find a way to recruit, but it's at the end of the day. It's like with Judge, all the things that you said.
Oh, dude, listen, at the end of the day, but I do think if the Yankees said, hey, listen, 9 years, $310, I think Judge walks just because, hey, man, if you value me enough,
right.
I'm not asking you for more, but you'll meet the highest offer that's on the table.
But that's what I mean. It comes back to the money.
It comes back to the money because there's a little bit of that respect factor there, from the original team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like when you go back to Trey Turner, the Dodgers weren't in. You know what I mean? It was more like, okay, the new teams are now in.
Yeah.
But with Judge, hey man, the original, the Yankees, they had to at least meet the offer that the Giants had.
This hotel, 8 years ago, same thing. Red Sox, Cubs, John Lester.
Yes.
Same thing, right? And Lester wanted to stay as a Red Sox.
Oh,
that story's been told, and there's
true.
A lot of pieces to that. But when we got here, at the end of the day, you had the Cubs showed the love in more ways, including the most important way, which is more years and more money. That's it.
Exactly. I don't care. Hey, Theo's relationship with John, all stuff. At the end of the day, more years, more money.
Yeah.
And I also too. I also think as a human being, the respect factor is there too. Like, okay, I want to come back to Boston, but you're not willing to meet the years and the money that the Cubs are. Well, I'm going to walk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, I don't know if there's somebody else who we're waiting to find out to see if they give him respect. His name rhymes with Schmander Schmo-Marks. So we're going to find out. Like, hey, man, thanks. Hey,
no, Bradfo, I'd also like to see, maybe the Red Sox are looking at this saying, okay, we got to get up. We got to get on top of a guy like Devers. And
you have to.
Look at Bogey. I mean, Bogey's out there. You let a guy get out there.
Think about this. You just talked about you want to be shown like this, that it's representative. You can fall short a little bit, but you can't fall short a lot.
No.
Because exactly that, because you're like, what that's telling them is that you don't value me.
Right. And so we're looking, the home down discount thing. Well, hey, listen, I'll take a little bit of a home down discount, but I tell you what, for a baseball fan to see a guy like Rafael Devers, brother, that guy rakes.
Well, and
that guy's one of the best hitters in the game.
Here's the thing,
and you're the Red Sox.
And here's coming anybody like that, Devers or anybody who's going to be a free agent next to you.
Yeah.
This is when they came into this offseason, they're leaving this offseason wanting more money than they thought they would.
Oh, no, exactly.
I mean, because people forget that, and I remember talking to JD Martinez about this, about like the CBA, how they got over on the CBA, they didn't value the right things in the CBA, and remember the free agency stunk, and players were taking extensions because they were worried about the money they would get, like undervalued. Not anymore, man. Yeah. Teams are spending money.
Money, and now the standards, hey, it's 40 now.
Yeah.
I mean, what's Trout to 35.5? Right. You know, now it's 40. Now the standard's 40.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not going down.
No, it's not. All right. You're a podcast genius.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Tune into my podcast too, Bradfo. At the mayor's office.
At the mayor's office. It's red hot. We're all one happy family.
All one happy family, dude.
Yeah. Thanks,
thank you.